y'all. Welcome back to the Brown Heart Wellness Podcast. I'm Samantha Edu, licensed therapist, certified coach, and your partner in choosing brave, aligned living, especially when things do not go as planned, because you know what? Life is gonna life. This season, we're talking about being stuck versus being still and what it looks like to act with intention even when things feel uncertain. Today's guest episode is a powerful reminder that stillness is not stagnation. It is sacred preparation. I'm so excited to welcome Neca Smith, a midlife career strategist, content creator, and founder of The Great Big Life, a digital learning community helping women in midlife design lives full of purpose, passion, and personal power. With over 20 years of experience and a background in counseling, Neca blends mindset work with strategy to help women reinvent their careers, show up with confidence, and take bold, intentional steps forward. She's been featured on Bravo TV and has shared her insights with organizations like LinkedIn, SHRM, and the American Business Women's Association. You might also know her from the Dear Headspace podcast, where she offers wisdom on personal growth and midlife reinvention. Today, she's walking us through her personal story of feeling stuck in her career, pressing pause, and choosing one brave thing at a time to completely rewrite her path. Now, let's get into this brave, beautiful conversation. Hey, Neca.
Hey, Samantha. I'm excited.
Yes, thank you so much for joining me today. It's always really cool to have a guest come on because, I can sit here and I will guess myself. So, but it's even better to have someone that you really admire, appreciate, love, adore, all of the things, respect, all of it, come on the show and share your wisdom with the Brown Heart community. So I'm so thankful.
I'm thankful. Thank you so much for having me. I just love you to death. So two pieces. I really do. I certainly do. So thank you for having me. I'm excited.
All right. So y'all know we always start with a Brown Heart affirmation. And our affirmation today is nothing is wasted. Every pause, every pivot, every brave thing adds to your becoming. Nothing is wasted. Y'all, I have been repeating that in my mind for months and months and months. Nothing is wasted. Because sometimes we think when we are having to pause, and I say have to pause because, sometimes we got to be sat down. Nothing is wasted in that pause. When things don't go the way that we thought they were going to go, and then we have to pivot, yes. Nothing is wasted.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we just have to keep that in mind, that even when it's not happening the way we thought it was going to happen, that nothing is wasted. That's all. That's all.
That's it. I love that.
Okay, so let's get into some conversation and a few questions. So, Neca, can you share a moment when you realized your career fit no longer aligned with who you had become?
Oh, good question. When I turned 40, so 9 years ago, I'm laughing because I cannot believe I'm almost not 40 anymore, 40 anything. But my life just kind of, to your point, did its own pause. Mm-hmm. And I was a therapist. I was a licensed professional counselor. Had licensed the whole 9 yards. And so I was just in a situation where I couldn't continue that. So, when you're licensed, you have to get your CUs and all of these things. And so it's not like $5, to do that. It is money. But I was also just in the space of, I don't know what I want to do next. And so life just kind of decided for me. And it was interesting because I remembered I was offered a role as a clinical director at a local community mental health agency. And I had a company. They were going to give me a company car and all these things. And it was like, and this was like, I could have easily, everything could have turned around in that moment, right? If I would have said yes. But there was something in me that said, nope, we're no longer going that way. We're going this way. And I hadn't planned for this way. I had spent, I don't know how much money on a degree, in two counseling degrees, mind you. Spending the time to, to get my supervision, right?
Yes.
So that I can become fully licensed, taking the exam, getting my hours, all of the things, right? And, every year paying X amount of dollars and, having a private practice, all of these things. And I got to that point, it's like, you mean to tell me I'm going to just drop all of this? Like, leave this behind? Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
But I knew that that was the moment it hit me. Because all before, I'm trying to get back to my equilibrium, right? Trying to just get back to what I'd always been doing, doing assessments and count, whatever it was, I needed to do. All of that time, I was like, if I could just, make extra money and do this and, get my CUs, I'll be fine. But when I had the opportunity and it came and it was just laid out for me, just totally laid out for me, I knew I could not do it.
Wow. That takes a lot of self-trust. Like, where did the voice come from and how did you know you could trust it? Because a lot of us hear that voice telling us it's time for a change, Woo, girl, you're speaking a word already.
Listen, that's a word by itself, right? I believe in a higher power for one. I believe in God. And so that was, first I had to trust that voice. And then have to trust what I knew what my future was supposed to be. Yeah. If that makes any sense. And because it's like I needed to have that counseling background not to be a counselor. I needed that experience so that I could take it and do the other things I'm supposed to do with it.
Right.
And even though I knew that then, I never would have just quit it on my own like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I never would have taken myself to that path. And so it really was, trusting, God, right? Trusting the voice of God in me and then just reminding me like, this is who I created you to be. Right. And so then it became, do I believe in who I've been created to be? And again, like that, as we mature, that begins to, that doesn't change who you're created to be, but how it comes about.
Right.
Changes, right?
Yes.
Because I was supposed to be a therapist. You can't tell me I wouldn't. I know I was called to that.
Yeah.
If nothing else, I know that. But then when it was time to be called away, I knew I was supposed to do it. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew it was time to move past that, right? And again, it's such a critical moment. And I know we're going to talk about stillness in a moment, but I had to, really be still. But learning to trust that it takes intention, right? It takes intention to really sit with that voice, sit with the discomfort of not being who you were or not doing anything that you're used to doing, because people are going to look at you like, first of all, what's wrong with you?
Yes, like, wait a minute. Like, you let go of your license? Like,
what you doing, girl? What's
you
wrong with
okay?
you? Like, not really, but here I am.
Yeah, we move ahead.
Yeah, we move through because that inner knowing was, that path was going to take me being a clinical director was not the path I was supposed to be on.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Because that was going to take me somewhere else.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
That was going to take me on a path that belonged to somebody else.
Right.
That's somebody else's path, not mine.
Right.
And that was going to take me somewhere. And it was so interesting. I remember that day when I was, and there was a company car involved. And I needed a car, it was like all the things I needed. And I drove it was a brand new office. It was, it was just sold to me like, oh, this is going to be amazing. And I drove to this office. I went in, and this company car went in. And I remember just sitting there, again, knowing I couldn't do it. And I wrote myself a letter. If y'all don't write yourselves letters.
That is a mind-blowing exercise.
Listen. But that just told you that told me just how intense this moment was and how important it was. Right. I was sitting in this place that this could have been my life for X amount of years. I don't know. But because I knew I wasn't supposed to be there, I still needed to commemorate that and to talk to my future self.
Mm-hmm.
Because myself now was in that moment was still like afraid. There was fear there because like, what am I gonna do?
Yes.
What is the money?
Yes.
I need to live. But I wrote myself a letter, and just thanking myself,
Mm-hmm.
right? Thanking myself for making this decision, and really feeling the feelings I want to feel in 6 months, because that's when I read it again in 6 months.
Yeah.
And so when I read it again in 6 months, had my situation changed? My financial situation, quite honestly, was much more dire. It was. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But the person I was growing into internally,
Yes.
unmatched. Like I had never met her before.
Right. Wow.
You know?
Wow.
And just to see how everything unfolded, even till today, is like, it blows my mind that happened,
Yes.
that I was in that
Yes.
space. But it really was just kind of about intention and being still and silent. You know what I mean?
Right. And even I love how you described the pause, because it wasn't like you had to take these weeks long pause and go up on a mountain for 40 days and 40 nights. You really just needed to listen to yourself and pray and trust, like, I have to make a decision in this moment. And that pause to write your letter is so powerful. It's
Absolutely.
such a powerful act of love to yourself.
Oh gosh, yes.
And sometimes we don't give ourselves that, we don't remind ourselves of how
Oh,
much we will hold ourselves safe. I will keep you safe by
oh,
pausing and
that
thinking before
is
I make another move.
that is, and I never even thought about it as an act of self love, but that is exactly what it was, because the person I've been for so long was, this person that hustled, got the next job, got the next contract, got the next freelance, thing, whatever I needed to do. Like I'm moving, I'm going, I'm grooving,
Yeah.
and but there was not enough space for me to think about myself.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah.
not enough room for me in my own life,
Yes.
because I'm running and chasing all of these other things, and I always say a lot of them were great, they were good, but as I began to mature, they were no longer me,
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
and so learning to love that version, like this version of me that can sit still,
Mm-hmm.
that was different for me,
Yes.
because the
Yes.
previous version, the 30-year-old version, the 20-year-old, she was, honey,
Getting
let's
it.
do it. I'm getting it. And I got it. I'm not going to lie, baby. I was getting it and got it. And then I didn't.
And then, and then you had to sit with some decision
It
making.
was some decision making,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
I got it again, and just in a different way.
Yeah. And it sounds like that moment of stillness allowed you to gain clarity before you moved forward. And it doesn't mean like clarity mean everything was crystal clear. You knew
No.
what the next steps. It just meant I know in this moment this isn't it. How do you explain that level of clarity? Because sometimes people think I gotta be crystal clear
Ooh, gosh,
before
this,
I move forward, and that we don't always get that.
you don't always get it. And a lot of it is just about taking the next first step. That's it. It's like, it's not even. And I think what you begin to appreciate as you get in midlife is that most of the things you are not gonna have a clear path on. Like you understand,
Listen,
like, yeah, I'm not gonna know. But
I don't know.
I
I
don't know.
literally
But it's
don't.
taking the first step, just one step, because that step will illuminate what the next should be, right? And
Yes.
even if it's wrong, in air quotes, right? If it's wrong, then you could just course correct.
Yes. You
That's
take
it.
another one.
Just take a different one. Go,
Yep.
go up this set of stairs and not that one. So it really was just about that. And because then, and it also helps when you just take that one step, because you're not thinking, all this cognitive load about all this other stuff that,
Yes.
could be, might be anxiety, worry, all of that. Like, this is all I have to focus on. When
Yes.
everything, and you have to really, you have to be the one to strip everything else away.
Yep.
You got to strip everything else away.
Yep. And that is literally the premise of the one brave thing, right? That one step that you take is your one brave thing.
That's it.
Like, and it's not a leap unless you want it to be a leap. It could be a micro step.
Yeah.
But what is the one step, one brave thing that you need to do to break out of where you were? And would you say that your first one brave thing in that situation was the letter? What was your first one brave thing that helped you break out of the middle space, the messy middle, like I talked about with
Oh,
Jay last time? We talked about the being in the messy middle.
it probably was the letter. I think it was
Yeah.
the letter because it allowed me like this sense of like freedom, like it was like this freedom, this like, and also like a delineation point, like this is over.
Yeah.
This is new. I don't know what a new is, but this is new. But this is over though.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I had to make peace with that, making
Right.
peace with that, letting that be over, because there was
Yes.
nothing I could do about that,
Yes. Yes.
unless I really, really, really wanted to. And then clearly I didn't, because I
Right.
would have.
Yes.
I would have taken a job.
You would have taken it. It's making me think about this previous job experience where I was trying to make a decision between leaving where I was and going into this next role, and it was so hard to leave that space. And I was like, I'm driving from here to there, which is about an hour and 15, depending on traffic.
Wow.
Getting home was even further.
Ooh.
And like there's this loyalty to this idea of what you should be doing. And that loyalty had me so stuck. I had went and I interviewed for a role for the same company that would have had me driving 2 hours. And I was like, really went and interviewed just so I could stay with this company. Fool. And at the same time, I'm interviewing with this other opportunity. That's
Wow.
such a much better opportunity, but out of the loyalty of the mindset that I'm supposed to be in this space, in this role, with this title, with this trajectory, I was so stuck in that I was willing to keep myself in a box that God had already said, I'm trying to push you out of. You
Yeah.
holding on for dear life.
Yeah, yeah.
You
It's like-
know?
yeah. And you
We-
were done with that, and I love this thing of this loyalty to ideas,
Yes.
because I think that's where most of our misery comes from. Being loyal to an idea that you can actually change.
Yes.
Like you don't have to be stuck in a job or career or anything that is no longer aligned, because that's the thing. Like, there are times when you were aligned. Like, this was the thing. It was
Yes.
where you're supposed to be. It was what you're supposed to do. And now it isn't. And
Yes.
that is where, again, the misery comes in, because we're trying to figure out, well, like you said, this is the path. This is what I'm supposed to do. And if you've lived in this world for just this year, you can see
2025.
you can see that that's no necessarily longer. And so that's why I talk so much about career reinvention, because you get to reinvent what it is, what career really means to you, not to everybody else. But but I always say it's less about what other people think. It's you. It's really you.
Yes.
You're the one that is, from a mindset perspective, stuck.
Yes. Yes. And you are stuck. And I know that I've had some conversations about this where people are like, well, people don't really always have like the privilege of quitting a job. Hey, I will be the first to tell you, I don't have that privilege.
At all.
I do not. But what I do have is the ability to change my mindset and remove the loyalty to a place and space where I
That's
have
it.
anchored my gifts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No one told me I had to anchor my gifts to this corporation or this company or this role. That was me. So I can release that, take my gifts back, take my power back, and then I can, and that at least opens me up to other
Absolutely.
opportunities.
That's it.
Right? We won't stop and do the work to see where have I given my loyalties?
Yeah. Because it's easier to argue. I can't just leave my job. It's easier to argue that so you don't have to do the work.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
You don't have to do the real work of getting unstuck, of truly reinventing yourself, right? Because you can still be in the same organization, same job, same role, and still reinvent yourself.
You can.
You can. It's possible,
You
actually.
can.
But it's
Yep.
easier to stay stuck
Yes.
with that
Yes.
narrative.
It is. And sometimes you'll find once you start, even if this is for those that are in a company and in a role where you feel like I'm stuck here, I'm not seen here, I'm not valued here, I'm being harmed here, and you do not have you cannot get out of that job, whether it's because finances, insurance, whatever, all the things, that is a very real situation to be in.
Yeah.
But the moment you start changing your mindset and you take your loyalty back and you get that loyalty back to yourself, you never know. You start seeing people treat you differently at the job. You start feeling much more liberated at the job, the same one that's treating you that way. You start opening up opportunities outside of that job. And I think that I want people who feel stuck in a place to where we are at our jobs most of the day.
Yeah.
It's change your mindset. It may not change the place, but change your mindset until that next door opens. Because what you don't want is to take that work trauma into your next season.
The next season. If you don't fix it, it is going with you.
It's going with you.
It's
going with you. And that's on you.
Yeah. Yeah. And you gotta be able to, again, when we think of reinvention, like it's everything. It is not just the job. It really starts internally, as you know. It starts internally first before any external thing can truly happen. Because all you do is take your dressed up self to somebody else's job with that same stuff. And people might be all happy-go-lucky, and you over here just waiting for something to happen. You waiting for another shoe to drop. Like they not even on that. And I'm definitely somebody like I don't want to hear all that. Like I'm not.
Wait, I'm just trying to let me alone.
Because I've been there. I've been that person. That's how I know.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I've been that person. I've been there. I've been back. I've been there. I've been back. And so these are all decisions. And it's easy to say it's a decision because it's hard, to make those changes and those shifts, especially when it comes to mindset, especially if it's been fixed for a very long time. In coaching, we talk about growth mindsets and fixed mindsets. And when you have a fixed mindset, these conversations that you and I can have sound to some people like it's in la la land, when in actuality, I had a fixed mindset too for a minute, and had to break out of that. And because I did, then I was able to see the true possibilities of what I could do and what I could really see other people doing as well.
You are so good. So good. Okay, I have one more question.
Yes.
Would mindset shifts, now we are talking about mindset shifts. We've talked about some mindset shifts that we might be able to change. Are there any other tools or rituals, things like that, things that help a person to stay grounded when they are in the middle, when they are thinking about that career transition? What are some things that you would say to this woman who's out here?
Such a great question. I would say, one, if you do believe in a higher power, start there. Start there, whatever your practice is there. I would start because that first of all, that should be grounding, right? Because that's foundational. The second thing for me is I'm a big journaler. I believe in journaling. I do. I know you do too as well. But I have journals from 20 plus years ago, right? Like when I was in my 20s. And I can go back and read and see my growth and sometimes not my growth, right? And so
That part.
sometimes like I'm still talking about it. But I think it's a really good tool though and I'm a proponent write like pen and paper journaling. I know some people like to type it. I think that's okay if that's what you want to do, but there's like a release, I think, when you put pen to paper, because it's a physical act and there's some sort of release and you're getting these things out, out of your head, and it, again, I feel like it's a physical and emotional and spiritual act all at the same time. So I think, that's a big tool. I think just kind of taking that time to pause and writing whatever you want to write. Some people need journal prompts.
Yeah.
So I think find some good prompts if that's easier for you to, because usually those are things you haven't thought about. Do that, whatever that is. Another thing, just kind of a tool, is being in nature. I look like it, but I do love being outside a lot. I do like being in the trees and being, I want to have my shoes off outside. I'm a country girl, so I want to be able to, that is grounding. Like it grounds you to just the earth, and again, just foundational things. And so I think those things, are important, and they don't seem like it. I remember, when people would talk about these kinds of things, like, that's all you do, you know what I mean? But that's really that's what I need. Like, that nourishes me, right? Being quiet, turning off that phone for an hour, like turning that phone off, turning off all electronics for whatever time frame, 30 minutes, an hour, and just sitting with yourself, being with your own thoughts, and just allowing yourself to be in silence and pausing.
Yes.
Like giving yourself, like that is a gift that you can give. These are gifts you can give yourself. They don't cost money. They don't do anything, but they're just in you and with you at all times.
Right. Ugh, so good. And just, I don't know. Just let me try.
You want to go sit outside?
Girl, I love being outside. I'll go out there right now. If I could have recorded this out there, I will spend hours outside.
Next time we're going to do an outside session.
We're going to have to be outside. That's where I'm at. If anybody looking for me, I am outside.
Yeah, but I think, though, really, it is when you in that place of midlife, exploring the things that are more grounding to you now that may not have been in the past. I think this is such a big pivot point for exploration, everything, but even those things.
Yes. I know you and we were talking about this in a meeting a couple weeks ago where I was saying I was exploring rest. And one of the things that I was exploring was like, what actually does feel like rest to me? You know what I'm saying? What feels restorative? And then I was talking to some more friends about the same thing, and they were like, well, I don't know if I'm in a season of rest or like being re-energized. And I was like, but what if that's the same? Like, what if me doing the things that give me energy is also rest or restorative? And let me explore that. Everybody doesn't get rest by getting a massage. Sometimes that is very triggering for people. Like, explore for yourself, what are the things that feel like rest? But that means you have to pause, intentionally try things, and report back to yourself.
Exactly.
Report back to management.
Exactly. Like it's so funny. So one of the things I've instituted recently is on Sundays is refresh and reset day. That's my refresh and reset. And I called it that because I didn't like the word clean up.
Girl. Neca.
Like, I didn't like stuff that felt like chores. I had to clean up. I need to fold these clothes and wash these dishes.
You made it aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, I needed something that made me feel like, refresh and reset, And so that was Sundays was my day, but yesterday, and as you know, I'm preparing to move, and so
Yes.
I was cleaning out. I know I'm doing it. So I was cleaning out one of my closets, and I live in a 3-story townhome. There is only 3 stories when you're on the top floor, and you got to bring stuff down to the bottom floor. You know what I mean? So I was cleaning things out, but I had to bring all this stuff down to the bottom floor. And by the time I got done with everything, I was like, this was not refreshing reset. This is not how I want to spend my time on Sunday. I have to find a different way.
Yes.
So, but I had to do that, thinking like, oh, this would be great. I'm, getting the old out.
Yes.
I was tired.
Yes, it was not. That name change just did not disguise the fact.
That did not. So I said, oh, okay, well, next time we will not do this on a Sunday. Let me get back to my bubble bath,
Oh my God.
But yeah,
Oh
but
my
no, to your
God.
point, like just that exploring, trying the things. And I think that's where we miss it often is that we don't try the things for whatever reason.
Yes.
We don't explore. And there's the simplest things. They're not even the hard things, right? But just
Yes.
getting out of this routine, because that routine really is what's killing you. It's killing your spirit.
It is.
Those
and if
habits.
it's killing your spirit, it's definitely killing you physically. Like I
Ma'am.
said, they just go in hand in hand.
Hand
You
in
just
hand.
Don't see it yet. No. It's so true. We have to try the things, and sometimes we don't try the things because we just tired. Like, you don't have the energy to try something new when you wait till you already burned out and done for.
That's it.
So these are things that have to be like a lifestyle, like integrated into how you live your being, into like the people around you needs to know, I need to do this for myself. And it don't need to be like, I know people like, oh, I just tell the people I need to do this in order for me to take better care of you. Now, forget that. I need to do this for myself. Now, any benefits outside of that, great.
Great.
But I need to do it for myself, and I
yourself.
need to do it ongoing so that I don't hit the wall.
That's it. That's it. And it's easy to do, and especially for us high achieving, women, perfectionistic,
Yes.
who've been doing it, and women of color, Black women especially, that's we've just been doing it. We saw our moms do it, our grandmothers do it. We see everybody else, these people out here hustling, and you think like that's supposed to be your life, and that's the only way to achieve, and it's not necessarily the case. Yes, it is. When you are someone who is walking in their purpose, it is as exciting as that sounds. It is hard.
It's hard.
It's difficult because it's a calling. And the callings that are on our lives are not about us necessarily, but about the people that we're serving.
Right.
Right. But even in that, in your purpose, you're not supposed to overdo it.
Yes.
So it has been a lifelong journey of me understanding, how do I walk in purpose and still sustain myself from a wellness perspective, from a spiritual perspective, from all the perspectives, right? How do I do that without burning out? Because there's no way I'm walking in purpose and I'm burnt out.
No way. There is no way.
There's no way.
That is not the God we serve.
It's not. It's no way. Like
no
that's
way.
an oxymoron. That shouldn't. You know what I mean? Like that just.
Yeah.
But I'm just now,
Yeah.
as a person in my 9th year of my 40s, I like to say, 49 and a half. Just realizing this, and the tail end of my 40s, like purpose is not supposed to be about you killing yourself. Like there is a sustainable way to do what you've been called to do. Because if you've been called to it, it's going to happen.
Yes.
You have things to do, most certainly.
Yeah.
But if I burn out, it don't matter if I tell you, that I, just watch, look after me because no, I am the captain of this.
Yes.
This is my calling. I'm supposed to take care of this. I have to take care of the vessel. I have to take care of my mindset. I got to take care of myself spiritually,
Yep.
physically, the people I talk to, the things I listen to, the things I read, all of that
Right.
to keep me aligned with my purpose
Yes.
so that I can serve the people I've been called to serve.
Absolutely. Man, I love that you said that. Like there's no way that I can build this thing, that I am building this thing, and I know in my heart that this is what I should be doing, yet I'm over here burned out.
Ooh.
Now, that means that I've started either trying to chase an outcome, or I'm looking for validation from the wrong people, or I'm putting a dollar sign to everything that come out of my mouth. That means that I have completely lost the plot.
You've
And we need to
bastardized the purpose.
You bastardize the purpose. You need a pivot.
Ooh. Come on back.
Come
That's
on.
good.
We're calling you back today. We're calling you back. The doors of the church.
The doors, they open. They are open. Come as you are.
Come on, Nick. Don't make me do it. Don't make me sing, girl.
No, please, no. We're not.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right, Neca. That was such a gift. Thank you so much. One thing I hope that the listeners take from this conversation is that nothing is truly wasted. With all that we've said today, like nothing is wasted.
There are things.
Nothing. All the stuff that we have talked about today. Mindset shifts, all of the things from A to Z, nothing is wasted.
Nothing. None of
Not
it
the
at all.
detours, not the pivots, not the time you spend questioning yourself. Nothing is wasted. Your brave thing is just listening, pausing and listening, creating enough space to pause and listen. If what you need right now is to write a letter to yourself, a love letter to you, asking you how you want to feel in 6 months, like Neca said, start there. Let that be your brave thing. But whatever it is, you are not behind. You haven't missed the boat. No FOMO, no nothing. You're right where you're supposed to be. And you're headed where you are becoming. And that's okay. That's all right.
Absolutely.
So y'all know we end every podcast with a Brown Heart Mindful Moment. So Neca gets to join us in our Brown Heart Mindful Moment. And it is just a moment to just center ourselves, pause, and then head into our day. So if you are feeling comfortable closing your eyes, I always say this, if you are driving, do not close your eyes. Don't even get too comfortable. Just listen. Noticing your breath. Take a moment to remember the last time you actually noticed your breath. And recognize that it is working. Whether you write it on a to-do list, whether you put your breath on a prayer list, your breath is breathing. You are working. Your bodily function is doing what it is supposed to do. And there's gratitude to be held for that. Taking in a deep breath. Letting out the breath. Bring into mind those thoughts you've had this week that may not have been the most helpful. I'm not worthy. I'm not where I should be. This isn't working out. I should just stop. I'm tired. I don't have help. Whatever those thoughts were this week, that noise, that voice telling you all the things that's holding you back, bring that to mind. Taking that deep breath. Today you're giving yourself permission to release those thoughts. And although those thoughts were there, nothing that you did was wasted. No time spent, no time crying, no time wondering, worrying, no time figuring out your next step. The time where you were still, the time when you did notice your breath, the time when you ate, drank water, walked outside, doing the most basic things. If that's all you could do, it was not wasted. You are here for a purpose, and your purpose should not be oppressive. On your next breath, you're saying to yourself, I can be still and brave at the same time. I trust the process. I trust myself. When you're ready to open your eyes, start bringing some life back into your hands, noticing your breath again, the sounds around you. Good stuff.
Very good.
All right. Well, Neca, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming in, blessing the Brown Heart community. Thank you for the work that you are doing. I appreciate you so much. You have no idea. I hope you actually do have an idea.
Thank you for inviting me. This has been amazing. And I'm super proud of you for doing this and just everything you've done, but just stepping out on your own and giving the world your message, walking in your purpose. So thank you for blessing us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, y'all. If today's episode resonated with you, share it with a friend. Listen, don't be selfish, okay? You got to share these words with people, okay? Click the link in the show notes to join the One Brave Thing Challenge and to also find Neca's community and YouTube and get to know more about Neca. And don't forget to share your favorite takeaway with us. You can find Brown Heart Wellness on IG. And you can also share it in the comments. But until next time, stay grounded, stay honest with yourself, and keep choosing your one brave thing.